warm welcome and thank you for joining us on 84 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Adirayo Dada. The Chief Judge of Delta State, Nigeria, Justice Marshall Umokoro, released 73 inmates at the Ogwashioku and Agbo Correctional Centers this Wednesday. Umokoro, while addressing newsmen shortly after the exercise, stated that the gesture is part of an interim measure to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the state. He added that a category of inmates qualified for pardon are inmates who are above 60 years of age. The Nigerian Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Hanire, on Wednesday at a media briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja, explained that the Kano State Laboratory suspended testing because some of its workers were infected. The minister also confirmed that the laboratory ran out of reagents and test kits. State governors, on the other hand, have agreed on the implementation of a ban on interstate travel for 2 weeks. In a similar development, the team of 15 Chinese medical personnel who arrived Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on the 8th of April 2020 will be tested for COVID-19 at the end of their mandatory 14-day isolation. Nigeria's Minister of Health, Dr. Sagi Hanire, said the tests will be done on Thursday. The Chinese medical team, made up of doctors, nurses, and laboratory technicians, came to Nigeria with medical equipment worth about $1.5 million. More news from China. China on Thursday announced a donation of another $30 million to the World Health Organization to help in the global fight against the coronavirus pandemic, just days after the United States said it would freeze funding. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Geng Shuang, speaking at a press briefing, said the recent donation is in addition to a previous one of $20 million. He added that China's contribution to the United Nations agency reflects the support and trust of the Chinese government and the people in the World Health Organization. We'll take a short break now, but stay with 84 TV Radio. Still ahead, U.S. President Donald Trump suspends approval of green cards for immigrants, and Indonesia reports 357 new coronavirus infections with 11 deaths.
Coronavirus, they really make you do what you fit today, can't wait. Now, the cocoa thing when you owe yourself be that because it's better to survive than for water to run your eyes. Oh, yeah, waka boom boom, begin the use hand sanitizer, special mask, and not green for body at all for anywhere, especially where people boku, clear road, arrange yourself, keep social distance, and practice good hygiene for house and surroundings. Do what the government tell you, sit down for house and make it for no loss. Coronavirus, so make we greet together, waka fighter like a kozuna.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with 84 TV Radio. Indonesia's health ministry official Ahmad Yuryanto this Thursday reported 357 new COVID-19 cases and 11 new deaths, taking the total number of infections to 77,075 with 647 deaths. Yuryanto stated that 960 patients have recovered from the virus, while more than 48,600 people have been tested. The Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis says the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is recovering well from COVID-19 complications and will be back to work soon. Lewis said the Prime Minister is recuperating well and following the advice of medical experts and doctors. Meanwhile, Kenyan police have arrested 2 people who escaped from a coronavirus quarantine center in the capital, Nairobi. The 2 apprehended escapees were among dozens of others who were filmed jumping over a wall of the quarantine center. They were arrested while drinking at a bar in Roysambu area, north of the city, and taken back to the quarantine center. During questioning, the 2 explained that the escape attempts became necessary because they're not being tested and could not afford to foot the bills during the enforced confinement. The United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to suspend the approval of some green cards for 60 days. Trump said this will ensure that unemployed Americans of all backgrounds will be first in line for jobs as the economy reopens, though he has admitted that there are categories of immigrants who are exempted from this order. The executive order suspends the diversity visa lottery, which issues about 50,000 green cards annually. It exempts hundreds of thousands of green card applicants already living and working in the U.S. and also those seeking entry to work as doctors, nurses, or other healthcare professionals. Critics have accused the president of using the pandemic as a cover to ram through long sought hardline immigration policies in an election year. In a similar incident, first responders said 3 people died and at least 20 were injured when a tornado touched down on Alaska, Texas on Wednesday. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said the state had deployed response teams and medical resources to provide assistance. And that's it on 84 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can join the conversation on our social media platforms at 84 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at 84 TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am Adirayo Dada.